everyone in the house and those joining us via live stream. On the 12th of August 2019, that's about 6 weeks ago, I was prompted to address the state of the nation with emphasis on the security situation, leveraging the occasion of the 59th anniversary of our independence. As I began preparation for that State of the Nation broadcast, slated for next Sunday, October 6, 2019, little did I realize I'll be given a preliminary address a week before the main speech in the light of recent developments. It is not in my character to respond to every whim and caprice of libertarians in cyberspace, but it has become necessary for me to set the record straight on the misconceptions surrounding a video on the 16th presidency that recently became a talking point. This clarification is necessary for 3 reasons. Firstly, in keeping with my calling as a servant of God, I must ensure that truth soars high above falsehood and that the fellowship of the saints be not ill spoken of by a keenly observant world. Secondly, it is my duty as a citizen who is privileged to have the ears of fellow citizens to ensure that well-meaning Nigerians are not misinformed about our activities. Thirdly, I do not want the ideas and solutions to our nation's pressing problems, which by the grace of God I will be proposing next week, to be drowned in the noise of needless controversies, because an actionable roadmap to the stability, security, and success of our nation may very well be found therein. It is therefore necessary to clear the air ahead of October 6, 2019 State of the Nation broadcast. Contrary to the misconceptions and misinformation, the trending video about the 16th presidency was an excerpt from a message titled, "Be Grateful for Your Blessings, Part 3, which I preached in this auditorium on Sunday, February 18, 2018. That excerpt was released at this time, a year and 7 months after the statements were made, and erroneously associated with recent developments relating to the office of the Vice President, suggests that it was either done by the uninformed or was a deliberately designed attempt to misinform the public by linking unrelated issues in order to create divisions where there are none, thereby heating up the polity unnecessarily. Unknown to the purveyors of mischief, before the video began to trend on the internet, I had cause to correspond with the Vice President through 2 channels, spurred by a message I received on WhatsApp. The message forwarded to me by a pastor in the United Kingdom expressed the disillusionment of a Nigerian whose major concern was not the politics of Abuja, but the economics of his or her bank account, especially following the proposed implementation of the federal government's cashless policy. To give proper context to my correspondence with the Vice President, I will read out the full message forwarded to me by this pastor in the UK. He reads, and I quote, "I really don't care that the presidency has dissolved the economic management team headed by Professor Osinbajo and replaced it with the Economic Advisory Council, EAC, which will henceforth report directly to the president, or that Professor Osinbajo is not a member of EAC." He went on further. "I don't care that the social investment portfolio, otherwise known as trader money, has been moved to a new ministry, or that trader money is to be audited." He went further. "I don't care that President Buhari has dissolved the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property, SPIP, led by Obono Obla, and instituted by the then acting President Osinbajo. He said, I don't blink an eyelid that the Vice President has been directed to seek presidential approval before administering the ministries and agencies under his portfolio. Nor do my eyelids quiver at the news that some of those agencies have been removed from his purview, notably National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, National Boundary Commission, NBC, Border Communities Development Agency, BCDA, and Social Investment Programs, SIP, all of which have been moved to the newly created Ministry of Social Development, Humanitarian Affairs, and Disaster Management. I don't care that most of the Vice President's aides have been approved for redeployment away from his office to other agencies and MDAs. I'm not even bothered that the Vice President's remaining aides have been ousted from their office space within the presidency and directed to look for offices outside the villa. It went on. What I do care about is that the federal government has slammed a punitive 3% charge on lodgements into a corporate account of 3 million and above, and also 5% charge for withdrawal from corporate accounts of like sums. They further slammed a 2% charge on all lodgements of 500,000 and above into a personal account, while adding a charge of 3% withdrawals from sale. What this means is that if I pay 500,000, this is his opinion, not mine. If I pay 500,000 into my personal account, I will automatically be charged 10,000. The banks will also still charge transaction fees for withdrawals and lodgements, VAT at 7.5%, account maintenance fee, stamp duty, and any other fee or charges the bank decides to throw at me. The onslaught is relentless. Nigerians are now to pay to put their money in a bank, they pay to keep it there, and they pay to remove it. The government, he continued, is putting its hand in our pockets. There must be something we can do about this. I have been relentless, he said, in my opinion that these people have nothing good for this country than sorrow, tears, and blood. Even their defendants or supporters are short of words to use in defending them as before. We were labeled whalers, that every sensible Nigerian complaining is now a whaler. He went further. A deposit of 500,000 naira will cost you 10,000 naira in deposit charges, in addition to SMS, COT, VAT, account maintenance, stamp duty, money transfer, and all other covert charges. It didn't stop there. It continued. In Nigeria, you now pay to deposit your own money in the bank. Your own money, oh, not stolen money, but worked for. And in his conclusion, he wrote, Nigerians, prepare yourself for fuel price increase. Buhari's supporters are not exempted. Government's failure is non-discriminatory. Next level of suffering coming out, still delayed. A number of you may also have received this message. In the interest of minimizing misinformation, according to cbn.gov/cashless, the true state of affairs is that the policy affects cash-based transactions, which stipulates a cash handling charge on daily cash withdrawals that exceed 500,000 naira, not below, and not 500,000, exceed 500,000 for individuals and 3 million for corporate bodies. The new policy on cash-based transactions or withdrawals in banks aims at reducing, not eliminating, the amount of physical cash, coins, and notes circulating in the economy, and encouraging more electronic-based transactions, payments for goods, services, and transfers. In any case, when I read the WhatsApp forwarded message, I noted the underlying frustrations of the anonymous author. I did not, however, agree that the issues allegedly affecting the office and person of Vice President were unimportant, particularly given our relationship, I therefore replied the message with the following words. These are now my words that began to circulate everywhere. I quote, "Every man will care about what bothers him most or bites him hardest. My concern presently is that come rain, come shine, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, must not be disgraced and humiliated out of office, except he has truly and flagrantly violated his oath of office, which I find difficult to believe. I fear for those who rejoice at the fall of others. Those who sow such seed are mindful of the consequential definite law of harvest. I truly grieve for my brother and pray for God's goodness, mercy, and grace to surround him at this moment. May the present overwhelming challenges, trials, afflictions, and or guilt by association be resolved in such a manner that God's name will be praised and glorified in him at the end, whether or not he remains as VP to the end of his term. Every time I remember that God is just, I fear for my country and our people. Shalom." Tunde Bakare. And I posted that to the people who are circulating this. In keeping with the need for integrity, and in an attempt to reassure the Vice President, I forwarded the conversation through his aide-de-camp and through a mutual friend who happens to be my mentee, Pastor Yomi Kesali of Foundation of Truth Assembly, FOTA. The messages were pleasantly acknowledged. I remember the ADC said, his phone, the VP's phone is in the hand of handlers now, but I'll deliver the message to him. But Pastor Yomi Kesali sent an additional response to me, and I'm quoting him. "Pastor, sir, this is very good and timely. You have written as a patriarch of faith and voice of heaven. I learn from you daily and hope to be more like Christ while learning from you. Your spirit is pure, your heart is clean. I'm proud indeed to call you my pastor. Thanks a lot, sir. Blessings." Let me state categorically that I never granted an interview on the issues affecting the office of the Vice President. When approached by gentlemen of the press for a response to these issues, I declined to speak publicly because I've spoken in private. I continue to have no other motivation than the well-being, peace, unity, and stability of our beloved nation in line with our God-ordained destiny. To reiterate, the number 16 video predated recent developments and was thus not inspired by them. Furthermore, my private comments were misinterpreted as a public statement. Therefore, in essence, the entire episode has been much ado about nothing. Somebody may say, so what do you say about the 16th presidency video? It is the true expression of my political aspiration. I'm unequivocal and unambiguous about that. I'm not trying to stage manage anything or working with anyone. Whatever God has said to me or showed me is my private business. And every citizen of this country is entitled to aspire to the highest office. I have said mine, you can say yours. And if that is sinful to you, read your Bible. Finally, overnight on Wednesday, September 18, 2019, as I prepared to honor an invitation by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to attend the Gatekeepers 2019 Summit, which was held in New York last week, alongside the commencement of the United Nations General Assembly, God showed me a vision for Nigeria. I saw a rainbow across Nigeria with a word boldly written, "Reset," across the land. And that's why the title of my message for October 1 is The Rainbow in Our Sky. God's promises concerning this nation will be fulfilled. We will reset this country in the mighty name of Jesus. It is against this backdrop that I invite Nigerians from all walks of life to join us next Sunday, October 6, 2019, as we conduct a national security and governance audit as a first step toward resetting Nigeria on the path of predictable progress. The timely state of the nation's address will be delivered at 11 a.m. in this auditorium by God's grace, and we broadcast live on select TV channels and stream live on our social media handles. I look forward to your presence and participation.